mama salute. Now we all come together as well. For tomorrow, now we go make salute. Anytime where you there, it no matter. Anytime where you be, it no matter. Anything you they do, it no matter. Oh yeah, it no matter. Now we putting up stronger one. Inside Sierra Leone, like a big quantity. Where breeze not a shame. TPP TV, Talking Points platform. Then they give you information about salute.
Yes, family, welcome back to yet another very important segment we can through the Talking Point platform. My name is Mohamed Kagbo, and today is the 23rd of January 2021. What we're going to look at today, we're going to look at a very serious critical issue, the issue about corruption. We all know say when this government comes into power, then talk about the fight against corruption will be one of the focal points. And we see how the government be pay attention for fight corruption. The accusation will then be levied against the previous administration, then put her in the court of law. And with all evidence, some people they left them free, some people they're all them. And even as we talk, the commission of inquiry, the white paper recommendation is still stand. Where government say then will make sure say that all the one them where them found wanting for payback whatever they don't lost. We're not against this. It's good. It's fine. We want. In fact, now that makes some of we come online for when we support the government because corruption don't make salon don't become a laughing stock now the wall. But anything we want money do not the wall, sincerity very very important. If you're not sincere to your life, you not go. Even your family, if you're not sincere to your family, you not go get peace. Whatever the job where you get, if you're not sincere in that job, you not go there. So everything center on sincerity. But what are the time for talk? If you didn't have Facebook and social media of these few days, you just see the amount of serious allegation where hold very strong gravity against the First Lady, Fatima Bio. The First Lady, technically not a public official, but when you look at her in another town, if they use state funds, you go put her as a government official. It depends on how you put the argument. Now, according to African Express, when I tell about you list some of them figures, and they in one instance alone, the travel for Gold Lebanon is more than 10 billion euros we lost. But not so that's where they spend, not so that's actually what they can talk about. When they look at the money, systematic, expenditure would they take place like drunken, like a drunken sailor, you know, it's too much for low beer. So that make we they ask if indeed the government serious about fighting corruption, these serious allegations then they need to be investigated and determine whether she did the right thing or not. Now, for help me talk this talk better one, I get me two big allegiance there. Then go join me at the studios as usual. These are names that we're not all familiar with. I will ask Dr. Alpha for like great people, Doc.
Yeah, Fambule, good afternoon and good evening anywhere. Nade and now thank you so much for joining me on Talking Point platform this afternoon.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, Mr. Ibrahim, on to you.
Yeah, I will just say hello. You know, we cannot say within a different time zone then. So I just say hello to everyone where they listen to we, and thanks again for we on the stay tuned for here we own contribution.
All right. So as we mentioned, the one of the reasons we bring this to people and the issue of corruption. Salona, we all get her, not to one person get her. And therefore, we're not going to just sit down because somebody, we all not going to sit down at that bench there, and at that chair there, all the same. No, now one person will give responsibility and choose people away fixed and credible for work with her. Whether not the First Lady now on to the last person. We mean say each and every time a government they use money, if we be transparent, if we be accountable, we for follow laws then, because the government, they talk about law and order, you know, discipline. When this government kind of power, they talk about, say, they inherit probably the worst economy for over 50 years. Then cry bankruptcy, all it's in just few months. Now we don't understand the millions and millions of billions of loans where just one person under the disguise of a project where he called Hands Off Our Girl, we know they're against her. Now that makes some of we back then we even say there should be a transparent method, you know, accountability and transparency. Not just two sides of the same coin. You know, we would do one without. But now we are about them billions here. Now we go to Mr. Kamara. Please walk with through how a country go run without transparency, without accountability. You know, man, we study accounting. Walk with through with this system. Given this serious allegation of billions, well, we know where we boku for name. If we say we make some of, let me just take some of the few what we get now because it's too much. Now, for example, in August 7, 2018, the First Lady spent on ordinary expenditure furniture 51,982,277. August 10, 53 million. August 20, 55 million. August 24, 33 million. October 3rd, 43,700,000. October 10, 17 million. December 24, 26,500,000. Where are we heading to? It is just in the shortest process in just 2018. So you, sir.
Well, if I get your question right, you say make a talk about waiting transparency, you know, it really mean that any, if you put it into any society, any institution, any natural, even a relationship, I feel say like not the best thing where they help and we or whatever dine when I give it for any project or for whatever we for do. You make sure say you spend them, you bring the evidences in for substantiate, you know, how you spend the money and make them clear to everybody, make them see and say, yes, these are the reason then which you spend the money for. But now you talk about like the First Lady, how in your involvement generally, because me personally, this is not me own personal beside the transparency now, what would you talk about? Now, in my own view and my opinion, we are entitled now the worst First Lady we would ever get as a nation. Since Salon don't be Salon. You know, over we don't get all sort of First Lady them. It starts from where the power then just win election, then say then get inauguration. You understand? You get structures and institutions and usually we can deal with anything in day. You don't need for bring your First Lady say you get for go deal with her. We say the thing starts because anything before don't go further, we say begin at the get follow. Then say now the First Lady get for take care of, you know, the inauguration. That becomes one big scandal at the country. Everybody look into her. What then called I be see like the mouthpiece of the party, then be just kind of power, it can like Lehman and can justify say, okay. The president thought and fit say I were in financial prudence, you understand? So they make it put her in charge for let it control the money. What about all we competent institutions and we blank honor? How about the competent people, the way they deal with her? So like even that alone, the other word we go use for another conflict of interest. You know, you angry not go be player and coach. Now then kind of situation in the it's the inauguration, just go attend. Give the delegates, give people the responsibility, let them do it. So the First Lady, to make them very short, is so much don't get himself involved into every single activity where they go in the country. Even if the president they go, because last year at the beginning, if the president get for go commission school, now McKinney, yes, if for go to First Lady way for a complaint, but even if that First Lady go, again for go make speech. I think I don't remember I don't see anything in the Because occasions and they way first lady they go, yes, officially you get a role for play. But most of them, we don't see Obama with them with them, where even like Boris Johnson with him fiancé, where they in a UK if they go activity. Not to every activity first they attend with him, man. Then even if you attend, you know, means say instead for mixed statement. So technically now like two leaders and the woman don't establish himself. You know, then and also, you know, for support you, man. We don't see if the president they rally, first lady they go you rally with your husband for support, and like when you say they support him man for succeed. But we don't ever see no partner the Olusa campaign, the first lady in the lead campaign, like waiting be happen at constituency 104 incident, you go there, you just say you go campaign for you, man. We hardly see her. You know, we see in America, you know, we see in Europe, you know, we don't see in any part in Africa. Like then they take that center stage where in don't take. So if I begin to highlight the things that it's too much, so like now, so in don't bring himself now the spotlight, it involved by everything. You know, it just don't mess up the whole thing. So if you talk about transparency, you know, even they exist now any corner away from our mandate.
All right. Yes, Doc Alpha, now we can with regards to these CEOs. Now we take the Lebanon travel where the first lady and Imam just disappear. After some time, the press release coming from State House say the power, that is the president, they go do medical checkup, and later we understand say now just merriment. People they suffer under serious economic hardship under coronavirus, and later we learn say they spend over 10 billion euros. Doctor, walk with you. How you feel about this, about Sierra Leonean politicians? We're in a very serious situation where everybody they concentrate on how to manage, and now these people are not so say they're not get right for move, but they look at the timing and forget about the timing. Look about the cry where people in the cry. Forget about the cry. Look about the money where they go spend more than 10 billion euros. Tell me how this go make we move as a country if you get anything.
Well, a very, very unpleasant when you read the report. I mean, 10 billion loans on a trip. Yes, granted, the president, if he travel with him, well, he get for travel with him, security team, media team, and all the one and the not to free, na money then get for use. But if you look at the soft of the lane, man, you look at the economy, you look at the government where they talk about financial discipline, for just go on a single trip, that 10 billion loans, I think it's something to up to $1 million on a single trip. If as you get love for country, patriotism as we say, and fiscal discipline, where people in the preach about, there is no way you can look and say, no, this particular traveling, you know what it, this kind luxurious things you want go do, you know what it, because this $1 million go give we picking in a so and so village, you go give them school, you go bring a hospital for people them. So at the end of the day, we see politicians in, politicians out, they are not sincere to the lane man. You understand? And for the most part, a lot of Sierra Leoneans, we don't understand about the constitution. Sometimes we don't even care, forget engaged. You know, even where such report, for example, they come out, investigative journalism from Cherno, don't come out. And Cherno, the Africanos press not starter now. Even with the APC-led government, they expose them during Ebola and other things. So a really sorrowful for see that ending, and now a lot of we Sierra Leoneans there will take partisan line. And as long as we continue for take such myopic and blind-sighted partisan line, the politicians then go always wait for enrich themselves, then cronies them and then family. Because if we the layman out there, we know they open we eye for scrutinizing the right questions, or even read reports where reports come out well, follow we understand very well. Waiting at them billions here, what waiting make them spend them? Or for example, you take the office of the first lady, such million. The office of the first lady, first of all, we get for no. Now, is it a government entity? People don't get for understand. Is it a government entity? If yes, then it get right for take money. If no, as most people they argue, scholars they argue, then waiting at the need for get such money. And even when they take such money, law examine is there value for cost? Such billions of leons up to 30 billion more, but 30 billion where the report focus on. Is there value for money on the things that we don't do? So now some of the question and there were things say we Sierra Leone there because we the bash government sometimes, but if we get a huge sector of the population we always want think partisan line, then nothing no get for change at the end of the day, because people they always get who that we get the keyboard warriors them out there. You understand? Where they fight for them, where they bash people away and bring transparency. I mean, you read the report, if anything, to go by the report, they say 85% of that money they then spend on waiting, on furniture, on fuel, and this and that. So now the question what they ask, even if assuming say they get right for get access to those funds, where those funds used judiciously? That now one. If then they claim say you get right also to those funds, then the office has to be audited. When the Auditor General they report, if you they take short billions of loans, then come on, you don't put yourself say yes, me are entitled to state funds, then you also entitled to state scrutiny. So the Auditor General office get for step in and audit each and every cent of how the money then they spent, and also anti-corruption is there. If people, journalists, then they come and make such publications and then the champions say they want fight corruption, obviously I believe for say they get for investigate and come out back to the people and say, we don't investigate, we not see nothing, or we don't investigate, now this and this we fail, no. This is how you build trust. Now so you build trust to the nation. But if you quiet or you go do 1 or 2 weeks, you just come out and come with some form of defense, I'm afraid we are not heading in the right direction, honestly.
All right, thank you very much. Now, we get laws in this country, procurement laws. The past government set up the procurement laws there, the Sierra Leone National Procurement Act, where Act of Parliament, where anything what we want to do, we get for put in short a manner, we allow people and for bid for the value for money. People and they compete, they show them different capacity for proof say yes indeed. If we get a 1 cent, then we will make sure say we satisfy the 1 cent. But they see say more when this report come up from Africanist Press, this one green AA enterprise. Now they buy all them furniture. Yeah. Do not have the first lady they buy fear now one. I think them by enterprise I they use billions. They reach the money that they reach now billions and billions of leons. Work with you since you study accounting. What do we for do if a very serious government? What are the steps the way for take for make sure say you spend money judiciously?
Well, these not all like new things, to be very honest, because they always follow the procedures, and every institution, government get procedures. You need for raise the right vouchers, I mean the legal way, because at least like we auditors and can I can I've been talking the last thing say not just like we auditor they can say okay now fraud we can look for. What did they can for look for? If one of part of in job, again for can look say okay according to how international standards and when they follow the accounting principles and how for procure stuff them, how now the balance on our books and the right way when I do them. Because the principle then generally they try to say if you follow anything and they already they stop you not for be corrupt. And one of them we then get we get one thing where they call say one tool we then use in audits and call it segregation of duty. For example, one man they raise voucher, you authorize and then somebody else approver. So in any way, if you not get for commit any fraud and then kind of thing and they pass 2 people then conspire. So if the 2 people they know work together, there's no way that they able perpetrate fraud anyway. So like that another way. But generally the problem about salon, we get transparency problem in that country than every other sector. But for the purpose of we conversation, because we have kind of a bit diverse, we focus on the first lady. You understand? The first lady, they make a lot of mistake. Like on that basis, they more want put in to him. And a kind of advice to the supporters of this government, the president himself, where something they happen, you get for things say power not to forever. Then where you take the voters them, whether you employers them for granted, then will punish you. So a lot of times it can the woman not they display any act of professionalism anyway in the way how it behave. Kind of it gets itself so involved. Like what I mentioned, Andy, if you look for all the previous first ladies we don't get na salon from way salon be salon. It don't kind of the spotlight than any other person, whether na politics, na campaign, na this issue, na rest, na Facebook comments, you know what I mean? So like in generally, somebody need for tap and up na shoulder and say, okay, step back. You understand? Structure your office. If we talk about transparency for us, structure, you need forget UPR, you forget press secretary, you forget accountant where it deal with you financial issues there. You get forget advisors and where they advise you went for camp public, waiting for talking about public, waiting for do. Which things that you forget you say involved. Let me start with like even the inauguration. We say at the first side we say getting self involved. Why you for cancer inauguration? Why you for deal with that? Not to for okay, first lady first, not to we not get office for her. Now like it come as an attachment to the president. Then nobody know they vote for you, but then vote for the president they bring you. But you not kind of get any kind of official duty. If you want to keep yourself busy, not to for begin to go champion inauguration then like furnitures and this and that. They take a back step. We don't see most first ladies all around the world. They engage in charity works them like this symposium where you say girls hands off our girls. Most outside people do that and they go tour around the world, you go solicit funds and not to even government co-fi they use. You raise money, you go to investors in the world where you able to go convince say we get issues in our country that these are the fetna salon. Then they able to give you the money. When they give you the money, you can set up the project, you spend the money, but even then they because I don't want to way listen a program way an anti-corruption official. Even if you go outside, you go solicit fund in the name of the government of Sierra Leone, you're still accountable for that money you steal. So at least that will make some sense because then see you they go out, avoid the government money, they don't get nothing, even when they make a national budget at the end of the year. They know they delegate or any special amount of money, say this is for the office of the first lady. So that tells you not to any kind of constitutional office you did. So you just they create something then for yourself for do. Go around, solicit funds, set up your thing there, back off, avoid government money. That's just simple advice. The whole thing about this first lady now that in it, let you know in responsibility there. The need for the reminder. That's all.
All right, thank you very much. So let me, because instance of the first lady not deny no the allegation, not deny say no it's money. So now that make we a call as a country, as a government, where really, if they want to take them see or say they mean what in the talk say, there would be no sacred cow. Then for fed corruption to the letter, we want made and take her. Mind you, few years back, there was an allegation against the chief minister. The chief minister was accused of collecting a bribe of 1.5 million. Instead, the accuser, the journalists were accused. Now in the hole, then go put in a cell. You see? And not also, like what you mentioned about Mr. Ibrahim, they take the people for granted. You can fool the people for some time, but you're not going to fool them all the time. These are the time. The reason why we talk now, because alone, now we're in a small country, people are not suffer for far too long. Yet still, you get people that will still believe in tribal lines, tribal thinking, fake ideologies that when they pull it from A to B. And even as what they try at least for being so much objective here, there are people out there where they feel say, no, we're not for even question. These are the two where they add some of we. There are people who feel say, you don't even need for question the prayer here. For question the first lady. For questioner. Why? Because now the first lady, that's all. All right. Now, if we even want to check about the nationality, where I know they are against, of course, African and Sierra Leoneans, but we don't see many times where the interview, the TV, where they are in film industry, they deny Sierra Leone. Okay, it's fine. Now you say, Sierra Leone, what are the time for talk? In as much as you feel say you know the first lady, you get right for you money. We still feel say there's a need for let we you account for her. Me not get problem if you use money, but let it be the right process. Let not just say they take people in for full. Of course, yeah, there are other people where it's simply smoothly go full, but other people and they're only accountable, you know. And like you mentioned, power not so forever. Now you go feel say you get away with this, but you don't know how the table will turn. Now now we listen to when you say they admit, say he use the money. Now that make what they say now. Since then, the money had them too much pan furniture. Now we know how it happened. If really the government's sincere about fighting corruption, now we play this clip where SSF confirm say yes, he used state funds, and we'll come to this later.
Waiting, no other first lady not able for doing in this country, and that is bringing another first lady into this country. And not bring one, but bring 6 other first ladies within the sub-region. Bring 2 foreign ministry within the sub-region. Bring the head of the deputy head of ECOWAS, and bring the deputy head of the AU in this in the whole of Africa, inside Sierra Leone, for can launch the Hands Off Our Girl campaign. Now, would you feel say go pay the bill? When you want to let the world know who you are, when you want to let the world know what your country stand for, when you want to let the world know, say yes, you young government and the country where you dey under, the president where you dey under, that president he believe in gender equality. You have to do something for make the world know. So yes, I use that money towards that, because all them people that they were there for Canada, this country, now somebody get for foot them bill.
So now, where SSF admit say he use the state funds for invites first ladies there, but the thing, we work with you about we don't get boku first lady in the country there. We don't get Sia. Lord take recent Patricia Kaba, Sia Kuma come to her. So we don't ever get any other first lady who come up from any other country who can pass na encounter. An achievement anyway. Doc, is it an achievement for us bringing a first lady, inviting ECOWAS regional chairman for Canada country, inviting 32 people for Canada country? Is it an achievement? For work with you,
No, you know, I mean, then kind statements then they then very, very contradictory. Because if you don't campaign, for example, on fiscal discipline, say the other side don't left we on austerity, money no day, nothing no day, then immediately as soon as Kamuna begin invite loads of people and musicians, them and other things, outside the money then they come out from the consolidated fund. So from the very beginning, the issue of fiscal discipline, you don't begin show saying a fast. Say it's not something you are ready to keep up for. It was just a campaign slogan. You understand? So I not see, as you say, if now any other benefit for let's say, or as you say, achievement or get so and so people income. Yes, in a customer we think say when a new government they take power, delegations then go come from other countries. It's fine, but again, if you do watch the situation at that time, if everything to go by say we did on austerity and we lack finances, then there was no need for so many invitees at that moment. But that's been said, that one they don't pass. We now move forward now with regards to all the funds that we don't use. But for me again, I support the point where Kalmo they say he get for take a back seat. Answer for Girl project now a very beautiful project. I believe say go empower girls and raise awareness on domestic violence and rape and other things. But to be honest, we get Ministry of Social Welfare and Gender and Children Affairs. I not say the first lady not forget involved. It can go out and solicit funds out there to investors, raise the campaign, be the face of the campaign, the champion, go all over the country. But again, there should be delegation of duties. You understand? Relax, take a mother of the nation kind of approach, a statesman-like kind of approach. Then other people or ministries then can able do the job for you out there. But you forbid that phase of symbolism, of unity, of campaign against the domestic violence and rape with the picking and the take, but not every penny now you get for spend, now you get for do, get so much involved and attached. At the end of the day, you bring disrepute to the presidency. Yeah. So I believe a need for think wide and loud and no say they bring so much disrepute into the presidency. A need for relax, put in office, get PR, get other people and we can come and talk on behalf. And yeah, PR whenever necessary, but forget too much involved in finances and other things. I mean, it just the more controversy of himself. And even though we get how we call this keyboard warriors them for bash people them in any report, but a large portion of Sierra Leoneans they also do with the wake up. So you get for treat Sierra Leoneans them with the respect we then deserve and with the sincerity we then deserve. Otherwise, I mean, there will be time of reckoning when people will play their own part against you. Not by faith, but one man, one vote today.
Yeah, thank you very much. These are the things where they talk. Them program I'm not gonna make them long because more people can get for camp for based on what we don't get some advices them. We'll make them very short, so get a few more minutes more for end up. But don't listen this other clip where the first lady talk. No, this thing if there is let's not listen
if
this
we
one.
not be spend that money day, tell me, Mr. Chernova, you that know everything, tell me how them for know what will they do in this country. Today, Sierra Leone is one of the best countries where the world they make us an example. Today, you know why? Because we are transparent and because we come out and make let the world know say this government is a different kind of government. And the reason why the president empowered the first lady just because you don't know, but Mr. Ba, now.
All right, Mr. Kamara. There's the first lady says Salon right now today now the one world winner a model of reckoning people and the now winner example. What kind of examples Sierra Leone other country there like America, UK they borrow from Salon?
The thing where the woman feel for if for all user I for say on the flip side, probably that for don't make sense to me. In other words, we are the worst at the world. You understand? If you been put because on the flip side, yes. Because the problem with this woman I don't get no nothing. Each time I listen to whatever it is say, I feel bad. Me, I tell you for I know hater like it feel say people hate them personally. I get example. I get one thing where you always talk. We get involved too much into we affairs. He say income for support a man for let a man succeed. You understand? And he say other first ladies not be done they do this. So they start with Pakaba way more recent. We can't to President Kaba, Koma and where Pakaba one win election, in first election, in first lady not to involve a win. You go run off a win. By the time they go for re-election, where Tijan Kaba they go for re-election, where I feel say for me Salon you don't get the highest where they go over 60 something to 70%. If I get time right, we go for re-election. It not be even get for West Safe for support and for win. It not be even get if I get time. I think Patricia Kawa you don't die by the time Pakaba they won for in second term. So it tells you, Fatima, with or without you, the president can able deliver, you get a team, you get people there. You don't need for can't get yourself too involved in they help that man for let win election. And on the contrary, always you they do this man, you just make they hate and every day they hate this government, they hate this administration with the things they do because you they involve too much. You man just too much. Well, nobody kind of not able to face her or talk to the parent incessant advice and say this woman get for step back. We don't need them for win the next election. Probably they need for put on that with it. When Joe Biden they campaign for win in America, you know be need in West that every single thing that campaign all other stuff there. First lady, you get little or less or probably even nothing for do for help you man. So let you forget with this concept. In the man we ready for can stand with him man if it is support him man and for let him man go win. Pakaba win without any first lady and Pakaba for let Pakaba prove remarried when it didn't have power. So we not be even get in second time, we not even get first lady safe. When government be function, it be okay, it all right. It tells you you're not too that relevant. Not get yourself involved. But Fatima, everybody know the background way come on. A common at the background where it be the paparazzi in London, I say in a movie star, in the act movie, where I've been just we don't know how they talk that because if you look, you even Google and even get 1 or 2 movie where be really they into a way in a leading cast. You understand it? So what them be they do? They say they call O2 Arena where they get them red carpet launching and they just be go then be need just the attention. Go there, go work at it, they see you. So it always be done then at that situation where it need for then at the spotlight. So it find it difficult for differentiate that life where you be there, you force you way for become a movie star and a first lady. So now 2 different responsibilities. So it's still a dream. It feels like that role, you be that social media guru, they come live, I talk, I for involve, I for control people there. Every time where the president they go for accompany now. And they just accompany. Mark what I don't tell you if you just speak up. Every time where the first lady, the president go, where he go. If you make statements and compare that to every other first lady, they don't need to make statements. What statement you the president don't talk what you get for talk. In your statement they will make now policy already. Now what they listen to, what you get for can say. For endorser, for no belief, or for you say audio, they just need for advise the pastor say tell this woman, even all this they attack channel then call them, they probably forget somebody for don't put out a statement for you. It shows she's irresponsible.
Exactly. You're right. You mentioned the certain things. The first lady, if I just maybe instruct in press secretary, then put a statement. But it complicates itself so much in that previous video regarding how Nigerians was spending money in our budget, and it makes some very, very stupid. I will put a very stupid comparison. Why I mentioned this? It's another insult, another try for insult. I respect her. Now the comparison are the insult because I will compare Nigeria to Salon say Nigeria first lady budget now 12 million. You understand? Nigeria is more than 200 million people for God's sake. You don't know that? Salon now 7 million people. I will compare. Even Lagos is more than 24 million. Now very close to 3 times of we very more than 3 times of we national. We entire country. Don't you go compare? If it's absurd. This time you say yes, something they within the lines where some fishy thing they happen here. But anyway, family, let we stay. We not take on a time long. Mr. Amidok, if you get something for ad, then we'll just round up the program because we get another program where they come, where they can talk. We'll get for talk about Slafa, the ongoing saga on the Slafa election. To you.
Yeah, for me, what I would say, I will just tell the first lady, say, as you can always go say, a better let you get other they criticize you constructively than the way we can they praise you destructively. So we no care for can become partisan, we care for can voice, I believe, say within a lot and people they feel. So if you want support you husband, I believe for say the way for support your husband are through state womanhood or statesmanship, as they say, be the mother of the nation, nor can be combative and very, very reactive. Any other thing you want become reactive, you want there on social media, no. You can champion and solve for our girls now a very, very great opportunity that one day you get for sell yourself, sell the government, and something where they unite a lot of Sierra Leoneans them. Man as well as woman, we all want to see the girl picking and become empowered. No rape them, no one beat them. So that's something where you for just then you corner and embrace that campaign day and not get too entangled into the day-to-day political affairs or monetary affairs about government decisions. Leave that one day to the government officials. And to China, we say let them continue for do them work. As long as then they get not to any kind cook up figures then they can give you. Now authentic numbers the way nobody not denying their numbers, yeah, then they can give you. Then don't do them against previous regime that they do and now let them continue for do them work and let them not feel intimidated.
Yeah, even the first lady admits say the money user, we understand. You only to know more now it feel very hard because then come out the exposer. Maybe not also be Ahmed and put her. Anyway, Famulem, Now, so they come to the end of the program. While we bring on this program, we they make real contribution as responsible citizen. What do they call for? Now the area of sincerity. If the government of Sierra Leone, the government of President Julius Maada Bio is sincere about fighting corruption, if the government of President Julius Maada Bio is saying there will be no sacred cow, if the government of President Julius Maada Bio is talking about financial discipline, I feel say with their allegation here, we know they say not two, we know they say not to two, but then for submit that maybe they empower the Anti-Corruption Commission, Ben Kaifala, for like investigate cases where they're of government importance. And this is very important because as Salon money, we there abroad, but some of you they contribute to Salon in economy development because each month people they send money abroad, they send money in a Salon, and some of them personal business, so they contribute towards development of the economy despite we know they do. So now we are right for talk. So not to say that we are people who just sit or talk here. No, we want to see we country go before we want to find things and take place. Because no matter what, even when you're there abroad, you get green card, whatever, there is no place like home. One day you want to go return, you understand? Or at least if you not plan for go settle yourself, but you want a good thing for come up from the country. And then they go add prestige to your part. We know one day all the time bad thing, but salon, bad thing, corruption. We not get respect for transparency. We not get respect for laws. The laws are all over they put. We don't they put like na cosmetic laws. We don't they put the law there for attract maybe donors. Maybe for let them say there. Then they in theory, in practical, we know they operate there. So now, so the person they go to the president, the ACC boss. If you guys are serious about fighting corruption, this is a very serious case that you have to investigate. Institute an investigation to prove whether Fatima Bio did the right thing or not. And again, like we mentioned the last time, there was also an allegation of 1.5 million, the chief minister. We don't ever hear anything come of that. We don't want to let them deceive we. The fight against corruption is not about the opposition. It's about every Sierra Leonean, the corner state funds. Money will come up from the consolidated fund, not to you get her, not to one person get her. Now state fund. So if person the user, you get for user properly, you get for accountant, account for her. Now that's what they call for. We know they call for too much. We know they call for too much. We they call for the right thing according to the law, the rule of law, transparency. When they talk about good governance, things say when they move a country from point A to point B. So family, we don't take on a time much, just like when I can recommend the lawmaker under 1 hour. And me name again I'm Mohamed Kagbo. I'll be there with me 2 colleagues and I are from TPP. And we'll come back shortly with another program where they can talk about the ongoing SLAFA election. Now can get very interesting issues concerning the latest updates. Until then, bye-bye, agree to all.